The promotion that wasn't meant for me. I've been working at my law firm for 6 years. 6 years of long nights, extra cases, and fighting tooth and nail to prove myself. I had sacrificed vacations, birthdays, even relationships because I knew that someday, all of this hard work would pay off. And finally, it seemed like that day had arrived. A senior associate position was opening up. The firm had made it clear that it would go to one of us, either me or my coworker Dan. Dan was, well, let's just say he wasn't known for his work ethic. He was charming, sure, but he was also the type to take credit for other people's work, dodge responsibility, and somehow still land on his feet. But I wasn't worried. I had built a reputation as the go-to person for tough cases. I stayed late, helped colleagues, and even won a case that saved the firm millions in damages. If promotions were about merit, I had this in the bag. Or so I thought. One evening, I was leaving late, as usual. My boss's office door was slightly open, and I heard Dan's voice inside. She actually thinks she has a shot? That's hilarious, Dan chuckled. I froze. Were they talking about me? Then my boss replied, laughing. She's just keeping the seat warm for you, Dan. This whole process is just for show. HR says we have to make it look fair, but the decision was made months ago. I felt like I had been punched in the stomach. All those extra hours, all those sacrifices, it was all for nothing. Over the next few days, I started noticing small things I had ignored before. When I won a big case, Dan was always conveniently the one presenting my work in meetings. When we were asked for input on important cases, my emails would mysteriously go missing, while Dan's ideas, often ones I had mentioned privately, would be brought up as his own. And suddenly, some of my key files went missing from our shared drive, only to be found in Dan's folder. I had been playing fair, but I was in a rigged game. Instead of getting angry, I got smart. I started documenting everything, every case I worked on, every email I sent, every project that mysteriously ended up in Dan's hands. I even kept backups of all my files and printed copies of documents with timestamps. I wasn't going down without a fight. A week later, the whole firm gathered for the official promotion announcement. I already knew what was coming. We are thrilled to announce that Dan will be stepping into the senior associate role, my boss declared. There was polite applause. Dan gave his usual smug smirk. I forced myself to smile and clap, but inside? I was done playing their game. That evening, instead of sulking, I sent out 2 emails. One, my resignation letter, effective immediately. 2, an email to a top competitor firm, attaching my portfolio of case wins and proof that I was behind some of the firm's biggest successes. They replied within an hour, asking me to come in the next day. Dan barely had time to settle into his new office before everything started crumbling. Turns out, I wasn't just a hardworking associate, I was the one keeping things together. A key client, one whose case I had been handling, was furious when they found out I left. They had trusted me, not the firm, and when they realized I wasn't there anymore, they took their business elsewhere. Dan, now with no one to steal from, floundered. He missed deadlines, botched cases, and made a mess of high-profile clients. And me? I had moved on to greener pastures. The rival firm not only hired me but made me a senior associate immediately, a position I had waited 6 years for at my old firm. 6 months later, I ran into one of my old colleagues at a networking event. "You will not believe what happened," she said. Dan had been fired. My old boss had been encouraged to retire early after a client lawsuit exposed some shady business. And the cherry on top? My new firm had just landed a major case, a case we stole from my old firm. Karma came back around. I didn't cheat, manipulate, or steal credit, I just worked hard and kept receipts. And in the end? The right person got the promotion. Just not at the firm that never valued me in the first place. My story shows that sometimes, when the system is stacked against you, the best move isn't to fight the game, it's to walk away and win somewhere else. Because in the end, hard work always wins, just not always where you expect it to.